Okay, so if you've seen me, if you know that I play Melty Blood, you've known for a while what I look like, because I went to a VOD, not VOD, I went to an LP like a couple months back, 6 months back or something, and I just went to one randomly. I didn't even tell them I was going until like the week before, and I just went, and then they captured me on footage, and that's that, and I posted ID in LGNA. So if you know about either of those two situations, you know what I look like already. But for all of you who are new in LGNA who have never seen my face before, take a good look because I'm probably never making another video on this channel with my face on it ever again. Except for these talkie videos where I don't expect you to like look at the screen. So just gonna get that out of the way. This is what I look like. The only reason that I'm showing you what I look like is because of the fact that there's this whole black space on the screen, and I was like, what do I do with this? There's nothing to put there. I don't have anything to put there. And I was like, I could show my face. And it's like, do I really want to show my face to the internet? And then I realized I already did that. So even though I'm not exactly the most even though I'm not exactly good looking, it's good enough. You know what I look like. I had to change my shirt because my shirt had my college that I went to on it. And I was like, wait, that's a little too much personal information. Although, if you've seen the ID post, you already know what college I go to. Anyways, jokes about how I look aside, and the fact that this camera is not it's my laptop camera. I'm not buying an actual camera because I don't plan on looking. You don't have to look at me very long. If you're following me for Melty, you never have to look at me again after the 5 minutes that this video is going to talk about. Because on the left side of the screen, it's Grand Blue Fantasy, because that's what the right side. I'm not doing another take. On the right side of the screen is Grand Blue Fantasy, because the idea was I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about what is it? The Your Journey thing. That's the main point of this video. So now that we discussed the fact that I am, yes, indeed, I really am black. People don't joke about me being black. I, I know I don't exactly sound black, but yeah, I'm black. Now that that joke's all out of the way, we can talk about the thing that I actually wanted to do, which is talk about the Your Journey thing. And also, while we're talking about that, I'm just going to be farming stuff on the second monitor in case you care about Grand Blue Fantasy gameplay. This is mostly like a podcasty video. The idea was that people would be able to watch this in the background, or if you care about Grand Blue Fantasy at all, you could watch this in the main. I don't know why, because I'm not exactly the most interesting person in the universe. But if you wanted to do that, you can do that as well. I just realized I need a third tab because I'm going to be using this one to talk about Grand Blue Fantasy. So I'll try to make most of my farming in the second tab, just for convenience. So apparently, when I made my first Grand Blue Fantasy talking video, I was confused on when I started because I forgot, frankly. And apparently, it was in 2020. And from what I understand, the days traveled is it doesn't count the days that you didn't log into Grand Blue. Also, I will turn off the music because that's the shing sound is getting annoying. It doesn't count the days you didn't log in, so I think I'm missing a few days actually. I don't know what the first encounter is supposed to be. Is that a character in this game? I don't even think so. If it is, it's some random art character. Let's see. Yeah, there's no way it's a character. I don't know who Kihar is. Because oldest friend makes sense because that's Chunch. He's my homie from Dragalia Lost that got me to play Grand Blue Fantasy in the first place. But I have no idea who the hell Kihar is. Is that a fight in the game? I don't know. I don't know who this is. The longest served crew is the one I'm in right now. We're a bunch of slackers mostly, but we got some of our firepower back because she joined us again, and then Calyx from Dragalia Lost, a homie from Dragalia Lost who I ended up playing this game with as well. He also joined us again. So we can actually hit TRA and Slack now. So that much I remember. And Shine is like one of the reasons I even play this game, but also she's on the back of my parties for everything that has to be farmed. So that pretty much self-explanatory. Michael, I play fire all the time. If you can't tell by me bar farming right now with my fire team, V Grim, he was my carry when I first started, and he still sort of is my carry for wind. My wind got slightly better with different units over the course of time, but he's still pretty much carrying my wind to this day. Oh, I'm gonna get mad artists for this since I crossed the Shiva. Although I don't think I'm gonna be able to. Yeah, I'm not gonna get a normal attack. When it comes to elements specifically, Percy makes sense. I don't even like Percy that much. I don't dislike him. Although I should say I hate the Dragon Knights collective because I am like the anti-Fujoshi and the anti... like, I had nothing against the characters. I just find the people who like this character annoying most of the time. Or at least I used to. I don't really care anymore. But I used to find him very annoying. But I guess the fact that I have to use him so many times in fire has kind of softened me on him, I guess. So I'm pretty neutral on him, on his existence now. If on 4th, it's probably going to be like Wilness or something, but I can't tell. Water, I started in 2020, and I think Vajra was my first. She was my first Zodiac, I think. So it makes sense that she's there. And also, because she was my first Zodiac, Licia also ended up being a big part of my teams because her thing is, if you call her from the back line, what is it? Yeah. If you do a full chain burst and she's on the back line, she performs a extra skill damage on top. So that was a part of my OTKs for a while in water because my water was really weak. It's a lot stronger now, obviously. But because of the fact that I played for like 3 years with a dog water grid, she's gonna be there. Poseidon, and same deal. He was one of the few water characters I had that was not bad, so he's on here by default. Earth, I'm pretty sure everyone has Kame as number 1. If you don't have Kame on number 1, you're not playing the game right, frankly. That or you just didn't bother to unlock it. He's used everywhere. I don't think there's like a situation where you don't have him on your backline in Magna. Even though my Primal, I used him in Primal because I went Primal slightly before Galleon came out, and people were still doing Primal Highlander, and that was the wave. And Earth was one of the easier Primals to get into, and then it stopped being the easiest Primal to get into because Galleon grids came out, and I only have 1 Galleon stat, and now I look like a loser in Earth. Oh, my Earth is so bad. I can actually show a version of it on this screen once I finish refreshing past this. Let me pull up an Earth grid. It's awful. It's not good. Yeah, this is what my Earth grids look like right now. I have a second PNS. I'm just waiting to bar it until I finish until I spark 2 more Galleon staffs. Because like, look at how garbage this stuff is. It's so bad. I'm using a clinch in order to hit Highlander. I used to have like a staff of Anubis in here too, but I was like, man, at this point I need cap. I just need raw damage mods at this point. My grids are kind of whack. I just took out the Anubis thing and I put in a clinch instead, so I can, actually try to cap sometimes. And honestly, my character choice for wind is kind of cruddy too. Like, I have the Zodiac, but I still need, like, my options are so bad, I probably really should, like, ULB 3-0. Honestly. Like, of course I'm going Primal Earth, so I have to ULB her anyway, eventually down the line. Just like I have to ULB Tian, because she's my first gold ring. I plan on full bling her, putting her to the max, and hoping for a good rebalance. But yeah. Mahira is pretty self-explanatory. You can see my Earth characters. They're not all that great, so it makes sense that she's just number 2. Same with Octo. Octo, he's the GOAT. He carried me so much when I was new, and he still every now and then shows up on my Earth teams. Even at 100, you can tell he's at 150 based on the portrait. But he just puts in the work. It's nice. Wind, my wind is completely different now than it was a couple of weeks ago. Like, I farmed 8 Siete swords So my win stuff is almost all CA. So, bro, I was just farming the third tab, frankly, because I'm still waiting on these raids to finish up. So I have all the powerful stuff. I have Vampy. I have Naru. I have H-Kkohaku as well. It's just that I'm kind of lazy. I didn't properly farm all my win stuff yet. Like, I did most of my farming for it last week, so I'm still like finishing up some of the farming as well right now. Oh, I was sorting by recent because I was gonna fix my storage space. Let me sort by attack instead. So, oh, I only farmed 7 swords, not 8. What was I trying to think of? Oh, I didn't farm any axes until like last month. So my grid for wind tag team stuff was kind of garbage. It's fixed now, but I've never used wind for tag team. I just play fire because my fire is just so much stronger, and fire is like the best at bar farming right now. So I don't need to worry about bar farming with wind again. So that pretty much explains like my first 3 years of playing explain why these characters are the way they are. Because Endura is just, she's super good if you're not super invested in wind, and if you're Magna, she helps cap because of her powerful buffs. Tiamat, I was running an Atma Spear team, not Spear, Atma Staff for like the longest of time. Again, my win only got better once I actually decided to farm the swords. So my win's pretty strong now, and I use like I mostly use Kingo for everything, to be frank, because I mean I have the swords. So if there's defense, I just use the defense swords, all 3 defense swords, and if I'm having trouble like capping or something, I just run 3 offense swords with Celestial Sword, and it works most of the time. This is an old grid. Where's this slightly updated one? Also, I have 000, which makes running Did I not update any of these ones? Bro, is it only Arcarum that's updated? Yeah, it is. Damn. It's only one Arcarum grid that's updated, is it? Yep. This is like my normal team nowadays for wind. It's Katura. The third slot is pretty much whatever the fight needs, frankly. Sometimes it's Naru, sometimes it's Shion. And it's always Randall in 4th slot because he just helps spam charge attacks. And normally it's 4 attack swords, 1 a celestial sword, but sometimes I run 3 defense, 1 attack, 1 celestial. It depends. It depends on how much HP and defense I need, frankly. But I don't really use wind that often. That's why I have like fights that I have to do like prides or stuff. So it just makes sense that my Atmos staff team that I was using for like the better half of like 2.5 years is the reason is all the way up here when it comes to my wind. My light and dark are hyper cursed. My dark less so than my light, because my dark at least makes sense. FLB Vikal is strong, Teox is strong. I started on, you can see where I started. I pulled V Clarice as my first SSR. Not my first SSR, but my second one. My first real SSR, since the first one you pull is like from pull 6. My light's cursed. I don't even know how 5th is here. This is like the most confusing one for me because I only got her to level 100 and then I never used her again. I don't even think I used her for like charge attack stuff because I used Twine for. I got Twine to 100 first, and none of them are like ULB. I haven't ULB'd any Eternals other than Chine, and my Chine's only at 110, so I don't know how she's here. These two make sense. He was in the back line of all my grids for like the better half of 2 years ever since he released because my light roster is mostly free to play stuff, so it just makes sense that these two are here. But I have no idea how she got to number 1. I just no idea. And like I said earlier, Seox makes sense. Like this all makes sense. Every other element makes sense. I can see it even if I'm not like the biggest fans of the character, or if I don't remember using them that often. Like I can barely, I don't even know what Kame does on frontline at non-FLB, but I know he's on my grid, so it makes sense that he's there. V-Grim has been the GOAT and been carrying my account since the rip, so it makes sense that he's here. But then 5th is here as number 1 in light. I just don't play light that much. And the thing is, I have like an actual light grid. Because I remember fixing, yeah, I have double bar PNS with a whack grid like this. And I have like a strong Relic Buster set up because I anti-ticked H Florence because the idea is that I was going to use H Florence to farm bars. But then I stopped playing it seriously for all of 2023 until like the very end of 2023 before Fire Guild War. Because I heard Fire Guild War was happening again. And I came back to lock in because I had finally sparked my 3rd LLF. So I was like, my fire is like the strongest it can be. All I needed to do was farm Alanon, except I slacked on farming Alanon. I didn't even do it, so it's like I did that Guild War without Alanon, and I had to manual the whole Guild War, which is kind of lame. But I got like what, top 15,000? I think I was close to top 10,000. Anyway, point is, I did really well in Guild War, despite the fact that I had not been playing seriously for almost 2 years. And my light's strong now, so you can see that this is like almost just a relic of a bygone era of when I just did not play the game. And because I barely played for like the middle 6 months of 2023, it's just like this. I had no idea. When it comes to my dark grids, though, even though my dark grids make more sense, I guess, I'm kind of lazy. I still need to farm my 2nd Agonize. That's pretty much like the most egregious thing here. These are not barred. I barred my Harmonia. I slightly regret barring them because even though I know I'm not ever going to truly regret it because it's a PNS weapon, there's not much to regret. It's always going to be like, man, I could have used those 6 bars on like a Galleon stash when I do get the Galleon stash. My fire grids, they all make sense. I have everything except like the 3rd Overrider. But I have Spark. Yeah, I have a full Spark. 50k things and over 150 to pulls and like that. So I have a full spark for the 3rd Overrider. The idea is that on the Annie, I'm going to spark. If we get Grand Lyria, I spark Grand Lyria if I don't sack her. And then the backup plan is that I spark my 3rd Overrider. And if I get lucky, hopefully I get lucky, I can spark my 2nd Galleon staff and maybe spark a 3rd one as well. Because the idea is that we'll get enough stuff that I'll be able to double spark Annie. But I don't know how reasonable that is. Because the guy that I used to talk to in regards to all my planning for sparks, because he knew the stuff like off the back of his hand. Because he's just been playing that long and he had a computer job or whatever. So he spreadsheeted forever ago. Tog, that one guy, you might know him from Drugalia if you've been on my channel for like forever. You might know him as one of the major data miners for that game. He just went radio silent. Like I see him on the game sometimes. He was one of like the people who got me into this game with Chunch. I just don't talk to him anymore. I mean, I assume that he just can't be on Discord, and that something came up and he's not allowed to be on Discord anymore, or he's just choosing to not be on Discord. But I see him play the game every so often. And I know it's him because he plays the game competently and he does stuff in light raids. And I know it's him. So he's just gone radio silent. And I don't know if I'll be able to double spark on Flash. I assume that I should be able to if I get decently lucky on Flash Gala with free pulls, but I don't know. Oh, is there really much else? I thought this would be slightly longer to reminisce. I guess to cap it off, I could just bar farm while I talk about my favorite raids in this game. My favorite events. Honestly, I like this game's main storyline more over than the events. Like, that's probably like the weirdest Grand Blue Fantasy take that you'll find from me. Like, I got into this game from the Nahogrand arc, because that's what super got me into the game and made me want to keep playing. I guess if I had to choose like a favorite event from the ones that are here, it's probably going to be Spaghetti Syndrome. Bro, I capped again? I could have sworn they were going fast again. It would have to be Spaghetti Syndrome. Cause, like, this is where I started. But I read Spaghetti Syndrome like the very last day. Because I joined in the middle of it. I remember this one and I kind of liked it. Robomi was pretty epic, actually. I remember liking that one. Home Sweet Moon I liked. Bro, bro, I barely read some of these. I know some of these I just put in the journal to read later, and I never got to them. Jeez Louise. Damn, I might be like a really basic person and just say the Magnificent Mulch Troop and Robomi. I liked Old Bond. I liked Agassi of the Dead. All the Agassi stuff with Meg is also pretty funny. But bro, I just might be super basic. I might be, yeah, I'm just basic, I guess. Cause I can't remember half this stuff, and the stuff I do remember is like Main Story and like Spaghetti Syndrome and Home Sweet Moon. Shoot, I might have no taste when it comes to Granblue stories, actually. Okay, so I think that's just it. There's nothing else to talk about, I guess. This was a party. I'm just gonna do a little bit more of these, like maybe like once every 2 or 3 weeks, where I talk about Granblue. But I feel like this was like the easiest layup of to just talk, to just yap for like 20 minutes about my Granblue experience. Because why not? The game pretty much is giving us a free way to talk about the game that we so much love. But maybe, hopefully, other people do this. Honestly, I want to see other people reminisce about their Granblue stories that are better at public speaking than I am. Maybe I'll put my camera on for all of these because I need something to cover this space. Maybe if I start like getting good at drawing, that's something that I've been doing the last 2 months that I've been trying to get good at. If I get good at drawing, maybe I'll put like art in this corner instead of showing my face. But until then, I'm sorry for being ugly. I'm sorry for wasting all the people who come to this channel solely for Melty Blood with all this gacha stuff. I know you guys hate gacha. I know some of you think gacha robs your account, and as soon as you plug into a gacha, you get rewired to waste time and money on it. Bro, actually, to cap it off, should I talk about how much money I spent on this game? You know what? Might as well. So, a lot of people think that I paid for my summons. The summons are just all natural sack. Inventory, summons. Not recent. It's gonna be attack. The summons are all natural. I think the only summon I paid for was like the final stone on Gorilla. And you need like 3 FLB Gorillas. So let's be real here. I didn't do much when it comes to summons. Although when it comes to characters, and not even characters, fire weapons from the main gacha, I probably spent like $80 on those. I bought a second Ulysses dagger, and I can't remember what other fire character I bought from the main pool. I probably bought some random fire character I don't even really use all that often. Because I know one of my Anitixes was fire based, but it's just not dawning on me right now. I didn't Anitix SMM. I'm trying to think who the Anitix was. Because did I use all my Anitixes on not fire? No, I Anitixed a Sturm. I Anitixed the Ixtaba. Yeah, that tracks. Oh yeah, that explains why I cannot remember what I used my Anitix on. It was something pathetic. I Anitixed like my 3rd Ixtaba. Because I went Primal Fire before I got any Ixtabas, and the idea was to spark 4 Ixtabas, and by the time I had sparked 4 Ixtabas, Percy existed. So I just got hyper screwed, and now I had to chase for the next big thing for fire. Oh, that was too slow. Oops. I had to chase for the next big thing for fire, which was 3 LOS and 2 Michael Axes. That stuff I didn't pay for. I guess most of my other Anitixes were in light, actually. Like one was H Florence, and then it was. I could just go all by reset, and then it would probably be able to jump out at me who I Anitixed. You, I did not Anitix. I was thinking about Anitixing you. H Florence was last year, so maybe I have to go back further. H Florence, I Anitixed a Sturm Ixtaba. Can I not remember who I Anitixed before that? Yeah, I'm just bad at remembering this stuff, apparently. I think I subtixed Sylph because she was like the only fire character that was half decent in the pool that I was missing. But I just subtixed her. Holy shit, I just can't remember who I anti-tixed the year before. Because I've been playing for 4 years, so I've had to have done 3 or 4 anti-tixes. Jeez Louise, I just can't remember. Nah, it's done. But, yeah, the summons, like all the Providence summons I have, like I spark every New Year's. And I always sack a bunch. I always sack the summon, which is, I guess, probably more important than sacking the characters. So I get lucky that way. And if you don't believe me when I say sack, I really do mean sack. Because I have extra Bubs, I have an extra Belial, I have a second, but I didn't stone him, so I'm just gonna use this one for a stone. I'm not so, I'm not gonna do like 6 sub Bajas that are transcended. I don't feel like farming CF Fun forever for the sands. So, and I'm pretty sure I use a 000 dupe, 2 000 dupes in order to save stones on my current 000, which has come pretty much in handy for all the new stuff. And I think that's it. That's again, please be watching this in the background. I hope you're not watching this for like Granblue Fantasy gameplay. When I plan on making Granblue Fantasy gameplay stuff, I'll probably be like the Higurashi video. I plan on making more of them. I wanted to make one for Boss Zero, yeah, Dark Rapture Zero, but I'm not strong. I don't have my Draconic done yet. If you look in the bottom here, I'm still 21 Smoldering Rubble away, and like 2 more Hexaphytes away from finishing my Draconic for fire. So as soon as that's done, I'll be ready to go. And I'll probably actually wait. I won't be ready to go because I remember why I'm so angry now. Because last thing I promise, because I already sent this video about like 5 minutes, rambling about stuff that doesn't matter. All the Hexa clears are using V Nihon and C Noah. And I could have sparked V Nihon, but I saw that he was kind of middling, and I didn't want to, like, you know, spark him in case that there were Foz Zero clears that didn't have him. But all the Foz Zero clears have C Noah instead. So now I look like a dumbass because I didn't have a spark for him because I was saving for 000. And I'm just screwed. I have to anti-tix him. I wanted to anti-tix H-Lich to finish my Lich collecting, but I don't get to do that. I have to anti-tix meta for fire once again. The things you do for the element that you like to play. Well, I think that's it. That's my Granblue Fantasy account history, pretty much. I'm going to title this something like super cringe and clickbaity, by the way. Like, this Melty Blood here is black? Question mark? Granblue Fantasy recap. And, yeah. Also, the music in the background for anyone who actually gives a flip. I don't think people care most of the time. It's Penny's Big Breakaway OST. Please play that game. Please do. It's like my favorite. I already knew it was gonna be peak when they said who was working on it, but then I played it, and I played it like 20 hours in like the last week. Please play that game. It's so awesome. Just play it. I'm done now. I'm not gonna make. It's not gonna be post 30 minutes. I'm done. I promise. I'm done. I'm hitting the exit button right now.